Alright, Genshin Impact 3.2 special program. This one seems to be a bit on the shorter side, only 32 minutes. We should be getting the end of the Archon quest here, and I am expecting a Scaramouche weekly boss. Seems like we might be getting that here.
Greetings, travelers,
Let's find out.
and welcome to the Genshin Impact version 3.2 special program.
Let's jump right in and start with our new version trailer.
Let's do it!
Okay.
Imagine this. We have orchestrated our plan and successfully rescued Lesser Lord Kusanali. We have changed Sumeru's entire political landscape.
Huh? Did I just see something dart by?
Having the
Did he?
doctor gone
I didn't see
benefits
anything.
him as well as us.
Amazing.
When she comes out of the bubble.
So this is how it feels to walk out of that cage with my own body. Yeah!
Oh my gosh, what the heck?
Hey!
Did she take a picture with her skill or something?
Yeah!
It looked like she was taking a picture.
But now doesn't seem to be the time to indulge in this feeling.
Did she have an idle animation where she sits on a swing?
Is it too late for an extension?
Layla. She has a sword.
Not now. Stars, shine for me.
Oh, you get a Geo Cube. And whatever that is.
Luckily, there is still some time left for me to take care of everything before I leave.
Was that the doctor
So,
speaking? I don't know his
This
voice.
is over.
Wait. No. I can't.
That's the secret hidden by Ermin's soul concerning the truth of this world.
The Balladeer has already become a god?
Yeah, and we're probably gonna fight
wonder
him.
your own people have abandoned you, God of Wisdom.
For some reason he has a mech suit thing.
At my command,
Oh, yeah, there it is. We're fighting
you
him.
shall fall. My endless cycle begins. Your ploy was to sacrifice the traveler here, was it not?
Nilou, are you sure about this? You're taking such a great risk for them.
I must admit that I'm a little scared.
Oh, he has a lower body
I'll
too.
try my best for Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Is that like a phase 2?
Plan is even more radical.
He is still using a generic sword.
Brothers, let's show them we Eremites are not to be messed with.
Quasar, you've betrayed all of Sumeru, betrayed its Archon.
Creating a god. We are using human wisdom to create.
How do you fight that exactly?
Let us reenact a scene of the Archon War. Come and inaugurate my birth as a god.
Oh, you can just nuke us. That seems great. Kasha pulses, the Kalpa flame rises.
You know, I'm actually kind of curious what the future for Sumeru will be once they get through all of this, and, well, you know, what will happen to the crew we've been working with along
Are we
the
going
way?
to tell everyone that
same.
Kusanali is
I just hope
Rukkhadevata?
things will work out for everyone affected by Elazar, like Dunyarzad and Kale. Oh, and we can't forget the desert dwellers who
Just
have
put
been
that in the
mistreated all
Akasha
these
and
years.
just inject it
There's
into
a lot
everyone's
that needs
brains.
to change for them too.
Right.
Let's talk about the Balladeer boss battle.
Whew, this boss looks tough. The doctor must have put a lot of his energy into this.
Yeah, the Balladeer has lots of strong and awesome looking abilities, so why don't we start by checking out some gameplay from the new boss battle?
Sounds good.
Woo!
You know, considering how this fight goes, this reminds me of like the Storm Terror fight. I hope that doesn't mean it's going to be single player only. So I want to fight bosses in co-op. Oh great, you know, just open the gates of Babylon, shoot stuff at us. The heck is that little thing shooting? Looks like it's shooting Scaramouche.
Travelers will need to charge energy for this little helper and use its special skill to counter the boss in battle.
A helper in a boss
Does it
fight.
just constantly like shoot a weak
Yeah,
point
that's
or something there?
definitely not Paimon.
Once the balladeer has transformed into this massive form, our usual attacks won't deal any tangible damage to him. So, the only thing capable of breaking through his defenses will be our little helper that we just mentioned.
To me, that sounds like
even be
once
some
you're in
moments
phase
in the
2,
fight where
you
travelers will need to
stop
use an aiming
engaging
mode
with
to
the
attack
boss, and it just becomes
Oh, who would have guessed that
a
little thing
boring
would be so
mess.
important against a boss the size of the balladeer?
I know, right? They also use some amazing
We'll have to
special
see how that
effects for all
actually
of the
plays out.
balladeer's moves. Speaking of which...
'Cause on paper that sounds
cosmic
awful.
appearance. If travelers would like to spend more time with Nihida, then be sure to check out Nihida's story quest, Sapientia Oromastes chapter. The quest will be available upon completing the Sumeru Archon quest. So be sure to check out the quest to learn more.
I hope it's good and
nice
not
that we'll
like
get to spend more
the
time with her.
certain other
I wanna see
Archon's
Nihida in
first
battle.
story quest.
What you got for us, Kimberly?
Oh, I've got lots to share. But before we get to that, let's have a quick peek at Nihida in action.
What they say is true. You have to see the world for yourself to appreciate how beautiful it is.
Seems like she has a bunch of idle animations where she just creates things. And is that what her normal attacks look like, by the way? That like jumping thing where she's like jumping on some squares to attack enemies? It's a very interesting animation. And what the heck is this? Why are we taking pictures of enemies?
And her ability is... sleepwalking.
What?
Yeah. While she is sleeping, Layla unleashes her true self, allowing her to regain the confidence
Can she attack with
needs
sleep talk?
and activate the talents and strengths she's had all along.
And aside from
Okay.
her sleepwalking, just like any other student, Layla has many typical things that she
She
hopes
seems
to
like she could
achieve,
just like
as
fall
well as
asleep
some regrets.
and then just wander
She
out
wants
of
to
your
be able to
party.
make friends and
That'd be funny if they actually did that for an idle animation,
abilities in
where she just like
combat
falls
too,
asleep
right?
and then just starts
You
walking
bet.
around on her own
Let's have a look at
until you
Layla
input
in
another
combat.
input of some sort.
Even when we're not looking up at the stars, they're always there.
Dude, I will give Hoyoverse tons of props if they actually do that. They probably didn't though. That's kind of cute. Yeah, she has a shield.
Stars, shine for me.
Very soft voice.
Welcome back to the version 3.2 special program.
Oh, we get a free
everyone.
Dory?
Next, we'll take a look at some of the new events.
If we weren't getting a
coming
new
up.
4-star character with
Amazing
Layla,
fungus competition is about to begin in the
Then,
lands of Sumeru. Not only
this
has
would
it
give me
attracted
all
local
4-star
competitors
characters
from
again.
Sumeru, but also in this contest, participants will use a special gadget called a Wisdom Orb to catch and train their fungi and participate in battle events.
Wait, what?
Although the fungi often pose as little
We have
troublemakers for
fungi
us in the wild,
Pokemon?
using this gadget will allow travelers to establish a certain level of communication with them.
Okay, so if I catch and train a Jade Plume Terror Shroom, then I should be pretty much unstoppable, right?
Why does this sound exactly like
That
Pokemon?
wouldn't be fair. After catching different kinds of fungi, you can follow Paimon's
You can even
suggestions
nickname
and
it?
give them cute names. But most importantly, you will have to train your fungi.
That sounds fun.
Travelers will have to use special floral jelly ingredients to mix and form blends that your fungi
You know, I would
will
actually
unlock their
be
true
interested in this
potential.
feature
While
if
mixing
it
ingredients,
was for
use
something
copy,
other than
switch,
a
and rotate
fungus.
functions. And they should have different abilities, right?
Yeah, so to
Hey,
work
look,
on
they can
their abilities,
evolve.
we'll use something called the Special Training Mode. In this mode, there will be two challenge types, Coordinated Assaults and Zone Defense. Travelers will be able to command their fungi's abilities, have them coordinate their attacks against a single target, and control them to defend the Leyline Monolith.
Oh, they're so cute. This is gonna be so much fun.
It's
I
a straight up
can't wait.
Pokemon.
Yeah, me neither. As for the rewards, in addition to Primo Gems and various materials, once travelers have reached a certain phase of the event, they will also be able to summon the great and almighty merchant, Dory.
And Layla will be appearing in the event storyline.
so Dory is
as
the
well
Pokemon
as a
master,
familiar
okay.
visitor from another nation.
For this event, travelers will have to use characters' special abilities to complete specific objectives. For example, you may have to knock slimes into the goal by triggering an overloaded reaction with Yen Phase and Klee's attacks, or use
Interesting.
Galon's elemental skill to move quickly and dodge giant pinballs.
Let's take a quick look at a couple more casual events coming our way in the new update. First, we'll be finding inspiration for an illustrator
great.
in the Outside the Canvas
And so I
Inside
see
the Lens
casual event
And once
is
again,
code
we'll
for
be working together with
awful
Lehman
event.
and Marvelous
Starting with
Ooh.
version 3.2, the Serenity Pot will be adding the long-awaited replication system. This feature will allow travelers to use sharing codes to bring designs from other travelers' teapots and implement them in their own.
That's
or
cool.
share their own teapot designs.
How about a load limit
I
increase,
know
though?
there may be some travelers out there who have seen some amazing teapot designs that they've wanted to also create themselves, but didn't have the ability or time to make it. With this
Oh,
new
I have
function,
plenty of things I'd
travelers
love
will
to
be
create
able
in a
to bring
teapot,
that creativity
but
back to their own
not nearly
teapot
enough load
or
limit to do
share
it.
their creativity with
Alright, so that is the end of the special program. And, I am a little concerned for this version. The end of the Archon quest will probably be great. I'm looking forward to trying out this new boss battle we have with Scaramouche and this big mech thing or whatever. But unfortunately, it doesn't seem like we're getting any new areas, like the northern half of the desert where there's some tornado thing going on. It doesn't seem like we're getting that this version. So I feel like we're just gonna play through the story update, and then we're just gonna be sitting around waiting for 3.3. I do have some concerns about the Scaramouche boss battle. Actually, first of all, he is a new weekly boss, right? I don't think they specifically mentioned that, or not. Maybe they did, and I missed it. But I'm assuming he's a new weekly boss. And if that's the case, I'm hoping he's not single player only, like Storm Terror. I feel like he could be, just because like the way you fight the boss is similar to Storm Terror, where it's this big boss that kind of sits in the middle of the stage, and you actually run around on some circular platforms around the outside to fight him. So because of that, I'm thinking that they might make this a single player only fight, but I hope that's not the case, because I like fighting my weekly bosses in co-op. I feel like that makes them a lot more fun. And fighting the Raiden weekly boss in co-op is like the one thing I do in this game when I'm just bored and I want to do something for fun. I just go fight that boss. So I'm hoping I'll be able to do that with this boss as well. But the thing is, then we get to that phase 2 where apparently you can't like attack him directly, and you just have to charge this thing that shoots him for you. If that's all you do in the entirety of phase 2, I feel like that just is going to make for a really terrible boss fight. That just sounds really boring. That you're not actually fighting the boss, you're just running around while something else shoots it for you. And that also seems like something that might point towards this being single player only, because like, you're really going to have 4 players running around with things shooting at them and no one's fighting the boss. So I'm hoping that this won't just be like the worst boss they've ever made just because of that. We'll have to see. As for the new characters with Kusanali and Layla, actually, first of all, I'm kind of curious, like, how many people call her Kusanali versus how many people call her Nihida. Personally, I prefer to call her Kusanali, because to me, Nihida felt like it was just this throwaway name that she was just using as like a disguise name, essentially. That wasn't really meant to be a name that she would stick with. That's how I always felt about it. So for me, it feels weird to call her Nihida, personally, but apparently that's the name that she's going to have in-game as an actual playable character, so. But anyways, I think for me, I'm not too interested in her gameplay. Her normal attacks look hilarious. I kind of do just want to run around and jump at enemies and watch them die, but it seems like her kit is designed around like reactions and having other elements and whatnot, and I'm not really into that kind of gameplay, doing a whole lot of reactions and stuff. So I think Kusanali might be the first Archon that I pass on. Don't think I'll be summoning for her. And then we have Layla, who has the shield mechanic that can like shoot things at enemies. I feel like I didn't get enough out of her kit and her explanation. Like, is she meant to be a character who is used for her shield? Because if she's a shield support, then she, of course, competes with Zhongli. And I don't think anyone's beating Zhongli in the terms of being a shield support. And with her being a 4-star and all, that just makes me feel like she's not going to be very good. Because previous 4-star shield supports have been pretty mediocre. But we'll see. Though I will also be passing on her because I have no interest in summoning on Miko or Tartalia's banners. I'm really curious to see how this Pokemon event turns out. I hope it ends up being fun. Because I could definitely see this being like a cool thing, especially if in the future we can do this with other types of creatures and stuff. I could see this being really cool, but it's really going to depend on how interesting and fun the gameplay actually is. So we're getting this replication system to the teapot. This is not something that I care about. Like, I got excited when they said, "Hey, new updates to the teapot," and then it was just this, and I was like, "Oh, this is nothing." Well, anyway, I think that is all I have to say about 3.2. So until 3.3, where we get that card game, I will see you later.